Hey guys, Dale here, back with a brand new RimWorld series. We're going to be playing the Vanilla Races expanded mod, Insectors. I guess this will be part 0, so we're going to go over kind of like mod setup. We'll take a look at the local map, our pawns, ideology, world map. We'll talk about our objective. So if you're not interested in that, you can go ahead and skip over to part 1. That's where we will get started with gameplay. So, first things first, I always like to take a look at graphics setter, just so we can see what mods are adding some of the most like visual content. We have biomes, prehistoric, rebuild, which beautiful doors, beautiful walls, and also the decluttering entryways, like so pawns don't uh, drop stuff off in doorways. Is included in this, as well as perspective doors, which gives doors a different graphic when they are like north-south. Biomes, caverns, we're going to be playing in a cave. Lots of vanilla expanded and alpha memes and all that kind of stuff. Let's take a look at some of the kind of like key mods, just like a little up close. So Vanilla Race's expanded Insector is kind of like what the playthrough will be built around. This just released, I think, last week. We have a new xenotype. We're just going to be playing that xenotype as is. So it has bug blood, insect flesh, insect pheromones, chest burst pregnancies, inject chest burst fetus, insect skin, antenna, and jelly dependency, as well as gene line evolutions. And so this is a new system that's associated with the Insectors, is that they have additional genes that you can kind of like mutate into. Each beneficial evolution, so hive glands, compound eyes, quite a few of them, requires it be balanced out with a separate degradation. So if we scroll down, we have like immunodeficiency and flexible joints, which affects move speed, and a bunch of other stuff. So when you select a colonist that's an insector, you can manage these gene lines, so you can have several of them going, and then you can tell your insects to go ahead and like transform into one of these evolutions. They'll hop into a metapod structure. It takes 5 days for them to metamorphosize, but you can fuel it with insect jelly to get it down to 1 day. So this will be something that we're playing around with a lot. Went ahead and grabbed better insect jelly plus preserves. We probably won't be making any preserves, but this does increase the nutrition factor of insect jelly. And since everyone's going to be addicted to insect jelly or require it, it might as well be more nutritious. This is kind of the insector mechanics of them being addicted to insect jelly or having an insect jelly dependency is going to be really rough. So we're going to do whatever we can to try and produce and get out as much insect jelly as we can. Biomes core, I haven't played with the biomes mods in years, but they are pretty beautiful. We have prehistoric and we have caverns. We'll be playing in a cavern, and so this adds a few new types of biomes. So there's the shallow caves, which I think are kind of like a mix of like the cavern environment on a mountainous map with kind of just like some vanilla map on it. Fungal forest, which is deeper in the mountains, crystalline caverns, earthen depths, and glacial hollows, as well as desert shallows. We're going to be playing in a fungal forest. We're going to use Vanilla Factions Expanded Empire. We're going to go for the Empire ending. We haven't done that since the Return of the Sith series, so it's been a little while. I figure like a hive colony with queens and all that fun stuff, it kind of makes sense for us to go the route of having a proper kind of like caste system in our colony. And then I also haven't played with Questionable Ethics Expanded or Enhanced. questionable ethics enhanced in years also. We're grabbing this because I don't think it necessarily makes too much sense for us to be like doing a bunch of bionics and stuff. Investing a bunch of plasteel and components and all that other stuff into bionics for colonists that are probably going to have really abbreviated lifespans. I don't think that makes sense. Them being kind of like these genetic paragons of this like whole xenotype system, in the fact that they can like evolve themselves is kind of like the theme that we're going for. And so I think them being able to like grow arms and replace arms with basically like nutrition and things, lots of different work chains. I think that makes more sense. And then there is a retexture mod for it that makes it look a lot more like vanilla graphics. So we have that going on as well. So let's go ahead and like hop into the world. If I can see my controls, Kif has decided to join us. Let's get back to the game, and then I will load the hive start. I'll get this save file and the mod pack like I always do up on the Steam Workshop for you guys. So let's get this loaded. And Kif is now thinking about climbing into his high chair. Okay, so this is what our map looks like. And it looks amazing for a mountain-based build. It's deceptive. There's going to be like lots of open areas in here. So that will be something that we'll have to deal with. And then for our hive structure, I had so many plans, you guys. I went kind of crazy with initial planning. So if we load plan, we have this Insector hive that I was planning on doing like at the bottom of the map. You can ignore the shapes on the left side. That was just like templates I was using to make this shape. I kind of like it. These rooms are ridiculously huge. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If I place it here, we would have had like entrances up here with turrets and embrasures, embrasures and doors for our colonists to stand in or behind if they need cover. I feel like that's just a ridiculous huge build. And then as I was playing some more, I kind of like took those initial template shapes and I made this like behemoth. I don't want to place it because it'll put a lot of things down on the map that I don't want to deal with. A little round shape. I'm gonna keep these as potential things that we will investigate placing or using maybe in another build. But what I've decided is just kind of like this. This feels kind of like honeycombish. It's kind of hexagonal. We can like easily extend our base. So if we need a new room, we just kind of like find a place for it here. These are two spaces below each other when they're directly above and below each other. And then they're just like one space out when we're going side to side. So I think that'll lend itself to kind of a more organic feeling base, because once we discover kind of like all the open areas here, we might have to like adjust plans. I would like to keep them all within the mountain. I think that'll lead to multiple entrances into the base. I want a huge swarm of a hive. So I think that'll make sense for us to have like posted guards and all kinds of other stuff going on. Our colonists, we'll take a look at them maybe in part 1. Yeah, definitely in part 1. They are working on landing right now. It is like a drop pod type scenario for them. Let's take a look at the world, and then we'll take a look at our ideologian. So it is a smaller world. I think this will lend itself for us to be able to like do caravaning and raiding and trading and all that other fun stuff. You can see here, we're right here in a fungal forest. So this is what fungal forest looks like on the map. I think this is a shallow cave. Yeah. Earthen depths, crystalline ones are up here in like the blue. And then I don't know if we have any desert. Desert shallows. Yeah. Ooh, actually, that's like a pretty cool looking map. So all kinds of cool stuff with the biomes core mod. Idea legend wise, it's a lot. Okay, so we're doing darkness, bulk work with extra sharp armor, God Emperor, so our leader will be worshipped, and Gestalt, which makes it so that like if everyone in the colony is like pretty happy, then there'll be like a positive moodlet. So some extra mood on top of that. If everyone's like pretty sad, then there'll be like a negative moodlet that everyone will have. But we have combat and darkness. Despised mechanoids. We also like eating insect meat and insect jelly, despising insects. So, like, we think that we're better than these insects. We are humans that have been genetically engineered to become this hive, whereas, like, these insects were genetically engineered to fight. The mechanoids or whatever. So that's kind of like some of my thoughts on that. We're going to be preferring to sleep in barracks, which will be fine even for like our queen, I think. If not, she'll have such a high mood for being like the leader and being worshipped and all that other stuff. We do have, oh my gosh, I didn't even show it to you guys. We have alpha, or we have, what is it? Let me go find the mod real quick. Okay, we have vanilla genetics expanded. So I figure, when I think of insects, I think of like ants and termites and bees and all that stuff. But like on the ant route, like ants will like ranch, right? They'll like collect honey from aphids. They will kind of have other symbiotic relationships with other insects. And I figure we won't be doing any like scientific genetic experimentation on ourselves, but maybe we'll be doing it on some of the like animals that we've decided to ranch and have a symbiotic relationship. We also have another mod that is pretty key to the playthrough, so let's take a look at that. It's genetic drift. Genetic drift. Okay, yeah, it's right here. And so we will lower these settings as the colony gets more evolved, but I've created like a pool of genes that we could potentially have a chance for in our newborns. So one gene is 75%, chance for 2 is 50, chance for 3 is 30. And I think once we kind of like get some genetic complexity going, we'll just kind of like lower these until eventually it's all 0. But based on kind of like based on second and third generations of our colonists, whoever's like producing the most interesting additions to the gene line will become our new queen. That way they're like passing that on to workers and things. So that'll be something that we do in the series. We won't be doing like messing with the gene packs and all that stuff for us, but we might be doing some genetic alterations to animals. Anyhow, this is gonna come out. Well, I'm telling myself this is coming out here later tonight. But shortly after that, part 1, I'll set it up as a premiere and it'll come out at the normal time. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys in part 1. Bye.